All right, listen. I know what all y'all are gonna say. Oh, bro, this is old ass topic, you freaking loser. Relax. Let me catch up. I'm trying to catch up with y'all, dog. I got so much news to cover, dog. I got so much topics and whatnot to cover about certain things. I just want to get to that. I want to talk to y'all again. Can I talk to you, please? He said no. Okay. All right. Cool. Today we talking about Pyra and Mythra. For those who haven't clicked off in the first 5 seconds. All right, we're gonna talk about Pyra and Mythra. Kind of everything that's happened since everything, I guess, and we're just gonna keep it going. All right, cool. All right, thank you guys who's still here. Appreciate you, bro. Here's a cookie. Into generic. Hey guys, here. Welcome back to another episode of Smash Talk. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be talking about Pyra and Mythra stuff. Just everything that's happened with Pyra and Mythra. My initial reaction of their inclusion, to the Famitsu article that came about them later, to kind of just some information that came up beforehand and things I don't want to talk about. So let's go ahead and start off with kind of my initial reaction to the character and kind of everything that's happened. So my initial reaction is kind of wild, right? You know, I was saying stuff about how this trailer was what the Byleth trailer should have been, and I'll kind of go into more detail about that before. I'm excited, right? I like Pyra and Mythra. I like Xenoblade Chronicles. I think the Xenoblade Chronicles is a series that definitely is one of those examples of you never give up on your dream. Because Xenoblade Chronicles started out as such this niche game franchise that not a lot of people knew about and no one really cared about until, obviously there are exceptions to the rule. There's obviously people who did care about the Xenoblade Chronicles series, but a lot of people couldn't do it because of the game's history and stuff. With this kind of recent boom that Xenoblade Chronicles has happened, I think ever since Shulk got in Smash Bros, I think it's warranted to think that, yeah, I do think they do deserve another representative. Honestly, I do. The series has grown since Smash 4 to a point where they do deserve another rep, and I think that Pyra and Mythra make a lot of sense. Obviously, at first, that was not the plan. Originally, I think it was confirmed that Sakurai was thinking about including Rex in Smash Bros. And originally, as I believe this was in a Famitsu article, or this was an interview later on, but the plan was to make kind of an Ice Climbers-like character, where you have Rex, and then you have the two people fighting alongside Rex, which is Pyra and Mythra. You have his sword people fighting alongside him. However, the problem with that lied in the fact that, yeah, it was a little too late. It was a little too late. Obviously, more specifically, Sakurai said this, quote, "When it was decided that we were going to create a character from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the very first thing I thought about was to show and move Rex and Pyra at the same time on screen. But a conclusion that it is impossible came at a max speed. When we talked about two people who move as a single group, there are the Ice Climbers. They have the same looks and can only do the same thing. When we tried Rex plus Pyra, it was clear that we cannot do an essential task to have their data capacity exceed a processing load threshold. The system to have Rex as the main fighter and Pyra overseeing him was also determined to be difficult. The design was so complex that a lot of things would have to be done. Rex would have to be moved on his own. But then I thought it would be better if we change between Pyra and Mythra. They've done this sort of thing before, kind of with the Ice Climbers or Rosalina and Luma, where they have multiple characters as a fighter at the same time. However, the Ice Climbers and Rosalina and Luma, more specifically the Luma, are designed a lot simpler than Rex and Pyra. So I think it kind of ran into issues with the game itself, and the game couldn't handle that many characters, because you also have to consider from an 8-player Smash perspective of having all these characters on screen. Would that clutter up the game? And the answer was yes. So Sakurai decided against that, and instead to kind of put Pyra and Mythra in there instead of Rex, and just have Rex out there as, I don't know, emotional support. Bro, I don't know. Either way, I did like the character. Just like I said, the history of where it's come from to now, it's kind of crazy to think about. Also, one thing that I will say is the trailer was definitely interesting. Apparently, the trailer was actually made by the team that makes Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So technically, this is canon, alright? This is canon. This is canon material, alright? This is 100% canon material, alright? You know what I'm saying? They created the cutscenes, obviously, as you guys can see. They created the storyboard of how the trailer would go, you know, with Rex looking for Mythra. He asked around at the local areas of where Pyra went, and he got to Final Destination. I don't know how the hell he got there, I'll be honest with you. He must have traveled like via portal gun thing. I don't know. But got there and Pyra was like, oh, I went to Smash Bros. I don't know where she got that damn card from. She got that damn letter from, but you know, it is what it is. Overall, I like the trailer. I think it's a longer trailer. However, I do think it is way better than the Byleth trailer. And I think that's what I was referring to, where this is what Byleth should have been. It was a lot more fast paced. They were fighting actual characters and not a random dude from Fire Emblem Three Houses that nobody cares about. There was a lot of talking, but there was less talking. It was a lot more interesting to watch than the Byleth trailer. Because half the Byleth trailer, I think for a solid like 30 seconds, is just the freaking aurora forming around the area and it slowly happens. And I swear there's some frame drops. How do you have frame drops in a trailer, bro? Now, once again, was it the Sephiroth trailer? Hell no. It was something that was enjoyable to watch. And that's what a trailer is supposed to do. To give you kind of information of what to do, give you a teaser of the information, and then it does it. And it did its thing. It did its thing, and yeah. It's not the best trailer, but it's definitely not the worst trailer. So that was kind of my initial reaction to everything. Now, the initial reaction to everyone else was a little less pleasant, we'll say. If everything goes according to plan, I do think this video will be out before wherever I have a video that discusses this very topic. And whenever it gets released, or if it's already released, and I'll put an iCard in the section because, yeah, I do want to. That is a whole separate topic of discussion that I do not want to get into right now. But I just want to say that the argument of the whole anime sword fighter thing is very stupid, but I think if you consider other things in mind, it is what it is. A little less easy to take in. But once again, I'm not going to spoil. Go watch my video on it, alright? Go watch my video on it. Alright, let's go over the presentation now, gamers, which is primarily what we're going to be talking about here in terms of kind of everything that happened between Pyra and Mythra. So to start off, Sakurai is back in his house. We get to see the boy's cribbo again, looking spiffy as per usual. Apparently the reason why he's doing this is because the cases back then were increasing, so they had to go into a little lockdown thing again, which means Sakurai couldn't access the office that he was using in the Sephiroth presentation that we discussed earlier on in the year. If you guys remember that video that came out, I was discussing that, where Sakurai was recording in an office again, similar to what he was doing before. However, now he's back at home chilling. It's an unfortunate situation. I do hope everyone in Japan is okay. If anyone in Japan is seeing this, I'm sorry. So then Sakurai goes into the origin story of Pyra and Mythra, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as a whole, like the general storyline. Golly, bro. I'm gonna be honest, I definitely needed that trailer. I needed that sort of explanation because personally, as for me, I guess I should have talked about this in the initial reaction, but I have never personally played a Xenoblade Chronicles game. I watched a Let's Play on Xenoblade Chronicles a very long time ago. This was before Schultz got in Smash, by the way, so technically, I'm one of the cool kids. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'll stop. But I have never played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, nor have seen any sort of Let's Play on it or anything. I do own Xenoblade Chronicles X, but I played it, but not a lot. And honestly, there's no excuse because once again, both games are on the Nintendo Switch for your convenient pleasure, I guess you could say. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition or not. So it is nice to see. After that, Sarah kind of ended it there, saying that you should play the game to get more info, which honestly, you should. I should do it. I should stop being a cock and just play the damn game. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Now, the stage is one thing we haven't talked about, which is the next thing talked about in the direct. The stage is the Cloud Sea of All Rest, which I do know is one of the first areas in the game. So, similar to characters like the Joker, Sakurai doesn't go too much into spoilers when it comes to the things within the stages that are revealed. Apparently, there's a big spoiler in, like, the spirits, but it's interesting nonetheless that they chose one of the first areas in the game. Once again, for the player to experience Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at their own pleasure and their own need. I think this stage is cool. Apparently, one thing I noticed in the trailer when they played on the stage was the giant floating thing is like a father figure to Rex, I think. If I'm remembering correctly, that's what it seems, I guess. And one thing that he said was, "Oh man," or something. It was glad to be in this body again, or something.
Quite the spectacle, aren't they? Wait, Grumps? I've missed this, buddy. Mind if I watch a while? Yeah.
So I'm assuming sometime in the story he gets out of that form and into another one. I don't know. This is just really me speculating. However, the stage itself is quite small. Basically, it is that entire area, and it's just a flying area where you go across. You see, similar to the garage in the Fire Emblem Three Houses stage, there are multiple characters that show up throughout the series. That you get to see some fan favorites that I don't know the names of. I'll probably just show the ones that Sakurai put in. On top of that, there are apparently Titans in the background as well throughout the series. Once again, I don't know what any of those are, but there are certain Titans that show up as well, which is pretty cool. I'm assuming they appear later in the game. Goodness gracious. And that was about it in terms of that, if that makes any sense. Overall, the stage is cool. It's not really anything interesting, if I'm being honest with you. It's probably one of the more dull stages. The only real note of interest is that sometimes the dude, I don't know his name.
My name?
I'm just gonna call him Turtle Man because he looks like a turtle. His neck moves up and down, which it can create a different platform on the right side. But other than that, there's no real difference. Like the other stages have other things that are interesting in their stages. This stage isn't really anything crazy, but that is a-okay because what is interesting is the characters themselves, which I will get into now. Okay, so the character of Pyra and Mythra, there are a couple things about them that kind of make them different. The elephant in the room and kind of the main thing to talk about is the switching mechanic between the two. Now, I remember I said I wanted this with Byleth. I wanted a stance change character, meaning a character that has a different play style when you switch to another form of theirs. For example, the Pokemon trainer being the only other stance change character in Smash has 3 stance changes: Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. All of them fight completely different, and they're basically 3 fighters in one, which is really cool. All of them have their strengths and weaknesses, and basically you have to overcome each weakness with the other's strength. So to where you can't kill with Squirtle, you can easily kill with Charizard, and so on and so forth. You get the point from here. Then we get into Pyra and Mythra, who are a little more easier to explain in terms of what they are. Now, Pyra, she is slow as molasses. Like, she feels like she got a parachute on her back at all times. However, she is extremely powerful. Because of that, I think I like her more than Mythra. Obviously, Mythra is the better of the two, because it is better competitively in a competitive standpoint to be fast, not be able to kill, but to be fast, than to be extremely slow to where you can't get anywhere, and then after that, all you got is strength behind you. That's why Charizard is considered the worst out of the 3 of the Pokemon trainers. Pyra's like the Charizard, the Mythra's basically the Squirtle, to where she has very quick movement, but she cannot kill for absolute dog doo-doo, man. She cannot kill whatsoever with her move. And what's also interesting is I thought there was going to be variations of the same move, but Sakurai took it a step further and put them both having very different B moves. Now, for the most part, their overall movements and their movesets and stuff are pretty much aesthetically similar. However, from a moveset and how kind of each move works standpoint, they're completely different. As I said, Pyra's moves are meant to deal a heavy punch and kill. Mythra's is meant to rack up damage, and I think that is the same with the specials, as I feel like Mythra has more moves that are kind of multi-hit moves, like the side B, the neutral B, the up B even has that sort of multi-hit aspect to it, whereas Pyra has more moves that kind of just like a giant kill move, like for example the up special. It's made for you to have to utilize both of them at some point rather than you only utilizing one. You can utilize one to get full access to the character and to get everything out of the character that you can. You have to use both of them at some point in the moveset. That's how that works, and that's why I like stance change characters. It adds a layer of usage of the fighter, and it really just shows like what play style a lot of people prefer, especially with Pyra and Mythra. Like I said, I prefer Pyra personally. For the most part, people prefer Mythra, so you know, F it then. I was like, can we just acknowledge the amount of shade Sakurai threw at Rex in the trailer? I'm rewatching it, and he was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be a Smash. So I was like, oh, you guys, her son must have been a B or something. I'm like, damn, Sakurai, give the man a chance to explain himself. Now, here's the thing. Usually at this point, I would be talking about kind of the movesets and kind of how they differentiate the characters and the movesets and stuff. But the thing is, guys, let's be honest with ourselves. The character has been out for weeks, actually months. So yeah, I don't think I need to go through a detailed list of everything that they can do, and I'm gonna save you guys the trouble go play the characters for yourself. One thing I will say though about the B moves in particular, I'm only gonna say only one of them. That's gonna be Pyra's side B. I think the side B is incredibly interesting because it's one of those moves you fling out and it stays there, and that's a very interesting move. It's not something that's been done before really. It's like a combination of Link's boomerang, but like if Link threw out his sword. And you know, honestly, that was a move that I would expect something like Dante to do, because I know the Devil May Cry series, Dante has a move similar to that I thought would have been cool for Smash if he ever got in. But hey, I guess Pyra said, no sir, I'm going to steal that real quick. Now once again, I'm not going to go over any movesets here, but there are a couple things that I want to talk about, just a couple. First of all, from what it looks like, Mythra and Pyra do look slightly different than what they did. So for example, with Pyra, they gave her tights, and with Mythra, it's actually based on her melee outfit from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is kind of interesting, honestly. So yeah, this is a little trivia for you. As for the costumes, I think all of them look pretty cool. I think my favorites personally are the original colors, honestly, and the Player 8 costume, which is like the gold and the silver one. The only one I'm not really a fan of is the one where it's them but swapped colors, so I think that's kind of confusing for people, but I digress. It is what it is. It's not that big a deal. Mythra has an ability similar to kind of how Pyra has like the power and stuff. With Mythra, she has an ability called Foresight, which is basically Bayonetta's Bat Within, where if you time it right, the attack will not take damage from the attack, and you'll have a chance to counterattack. So it's like a very buffed version of the parry. So that's kind of cool, which is kind of cool. Their final smash is something that I guess I'll mention. It's dependent on who you're using, obviously. If you're using Pyra, you get Burning Sword, and if you get Mythra, Sacred Arrow. They're pretty cool. I like how the scenery is the same as Shulk's final smash, kind of giving them more of that connection, which I think that's kind of cool. Other than that, I really do like the characters. I think they play pretty well, and if I'm not mistaken, they're pretty decent characters in terms of fighting potential. So one like 20-minute squad strike later, and we get the song list, which has only 3 Smash remixes, but honestly, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 music is so good, like who the hell cares? With the 3 that were already in the game before, and the 16 that are added with these characters, it makes total of 19 tracks total for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I think that's pretty lit. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has some fantastic music, even from what I heard in the direct when Sakurai was explaining it, so makes sense there. Next up, Sakurai talks about the Mii Fighter roster and goes over the fighter hats that are available. There's not that many of these this time. There's the Monster Hunter equipment, which is basically the Monster Hunter. Then we have the Rathalos equipment that was present in Smash 4, and I believe the Monster Hunter one was in Smash 4 too, which is ones that people were wondering what's gonna happen. We also get the Feline hat, which is based off like the feline character in Monster Hunter, which I believe is a pretty iconic character either way in the Monster Hunter series, so it makes sense. And finally, just randomly, you get Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. I'm assuming this is because of the remake that came out a while ago, because there is a reason to the outfits of the Monster Hunter, Rathalos, and the Feline was because of Monster Hunter Rise and how that game is going to come out, which I do think hints to the fact that no, there will not be a Monster Hunter character in Smash Bros. Why not just put a character and just wait for the costumes there? So no Monster Hunter here. It is what it is. We move gaming. The final thing that I will talk about is this whole figure theory thing, which is at the end of the presentation, Sakurai revealed that he keeps a lot of his figurines, which actually was revealed a long time ago, and I think like a book that came out a while ago that I actually, fun fact, was actually planning to do a video on. I decided not to do it. And he mentioned how he collects figures of characters that he's planning to play in Smash Bros. So that he gets kind of the full kit in terms of what the character can do, what's like realistic to move, or what limbs are the most realistic to move and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. He has multiple figures all around, and apparently there's some unreleased fighters that are figurines that he has in like storages and stuff. So that shows that yes, the next Smash fighter, at least one of them are going to have figures. I mean, it means Gex not coming in. Like, if you got all of you Gex fans out there, probably not gonna happen. Honestly, like I said, these characters are amazing. I love each and every one of them, and I am excited that they've come out. I'm going to now stop here because there's not much else to talk about in terms of the fighters. Not much was revealed afterwards. Like I said, Sakurai had had a little interview afterwards talking about like Rex and stuff, but we already talked about it towards the beginning. So at this point, we're done, which is epic. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you guys think of Pyra and Mythra? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Let's not bring up this anime sword fighter thing, guys. Don't worry, because I either have a video or a video is already out that's talking about that, so don't even worry about that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this episode and want to see what else is on the go, you guys check out this whole playlist in the description below, and of course make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want more Smash talk on your plate. With all that being said, the next character that gets a video presentation, I will do a video as quickly as I can. I'll see you guys when the next character gets revealed, whoever that is, and I'll see you guys in the next video presentation. Alright, with all that being said, you can put your spatulas down now, but keep it to the Baconators. Peace.